6:23 a.m. Sunday, November 21st, 2021. So the other night was partial eclipse. Um, Two different kinds of whiplash were giving me grief. Got the one the front to back that affects me kind of mid. Well, there's a bit at the base of the neck, and there's a bit at the top of the neck, and I think they're from the same one, but they might not be. And then they really only come and go together. And then the sideways one was from getting hit by a drunk driver on deliveries way back in the day, and that was from the right side impact, so it's like this. So I had this whole side of the neck hurting, and a lot of other people at work were affected. A lot of people ended up going home early. Those of us who've been in it long enough have been through some shit. Purpose of this video is home front stuff. I have talked about things in the world, or I have documented, instances and shown my cats, but things as I eat, they're not bad. I keep making decent money, and just about every time I'm about to get to something that I think is a major goal, some other thing comes up that needs to be dealt with. The most recent thing of this is I've needed to get. I'm too deep, so I'm hoping for the holiday tippage to be enough that I can bang out some of these things I need to get, because my freaking Christmas is going to be car parts. I need to get the U-joints to get my four-wheel drive back in play. I've noticed I have a place where the shaft and the yoke have ticked away at the outer casing of the transmission shift cable, and that where the shaft was banging around before I got it off, messed with there's like a ratchety thing on the shifter that has to do with the neutral safety switch. So all of that at some point should be replaced just to have a better shifting one, and maybe I'll gain the use of my first gear by the lever, because I can't get it down into one, and I think it's a physical limitation on where this thing is bent, and it's able to move around on the transmission pan lip. So aside from discovering that, which is not like an essential thing, but it would be nice. The truck had on two occasions just been electrically dead. And it was fine until I turned it off. Thought it was, I come to discover this thing with the transmission cable looking around about the neutral switch to see if that was why it wouldn't start, but that wasn't it. Eventually, just accidentally today, still like, okay, so that's not it, what else is it? Get under the hood, and I'm like, okay, let's wiggle some battery cables again. I already done it, but you know what? Let's do it again. And I hit the negative, and things change, because I have the headlights turned on, so something will come on when I get the power. And so I found that, and I was like, well, okay. So I tried to tighten it. I don't know that it worked. The heads on these bolts are getting bad. They're not super cinch tight either. That's the problem. And so I'm going to be replacing those first and foremost, the first car parts that I buy. Meanwhile, of course, I got off track. The U-joints were delayed by the need for a new caliper and hose on the front, because if you're going to replace one, you need to replace the other in order for it to just go longer without a problem, which is my goal. And that's something I've been just on the verge of having. and other stuff comes up. So I think there's going to be like a Hail Mary, like I'm going to make a bunch of money and like every day I'm going to like gas the truck up and I'm going to go to the parts store. I'm going to buy one part or something every day while I got enough money to get one part, like one U-joint at a time, and then I'll get the hose, and then I'll get whatever else. The transmission cable thing is last on the list, but I know it's there. But it's good to know, I suppose. Battery cables are the first thing. Thankfully, there's this little red box. If you've ever seen me show the inside of my engine bay, there's this little red plastic box up next to the alternator. Inside that box is like, I'm guessing, a nut on a stud. And you take the nut off the stud, and then you pull the end of the cable off, and then the thing off the battery, and then you swap the cable. Booyah. Simple. Something very along that line. I'm getting to the point with it where I'm starting to understand things that I've never done before I do them, because I see where it's going. So I don't have to pay for someone to do that. I don't have to. All these things I'm talking about are things I can do myself easily. It's just a matter of getting the parts in hand and then being able to do it. Weather won't even really be a factor necessarily on any of these in particular. Challenge accepted. Mood's been alright. Baby's been alright. The moment I was looking for with the one who has the issues, whose name I won't say so nobody thinks I'm saying anything, because they can hear their names when I make videos and they understand. I don't want any cross communications, misunderstandings with tone of voice and cat name. The Tux. I got her up snuggling and kind of, relaxing a little bit. She's been tense, obviously. And the thing is, just one day without any fanfare whatsoever, the carrier, top and bottom with the same towels from that day, was just on the porch with some mail. And they've been on the porch on and off. And so then finally got her to relax and get on my lap and hang out a bit. And just on a little test, I just was like, giving her all the love and everything else. And, I love you, and I love him, naming all the cats and saying I love them like I said I do. I did doing it. And then I said his name and how much I love him, and we all love him too. And she was like, ears all back, and recognized the name, and just head fell back for like she had her moment, and I held her. And after that, for like the next couple of days after that, this has been a few days. I've just not been, no news is good news, and I've not been reporting. I don't want to jinx it. She'd hopped up on my lap and looked up over my shoulder, up toward this corner, and eyes wide. And, there's no mice or anything coming in up there right now that I can see. I can't hear anything, so I don't know what. No idea. But, yeah, she's had her wailing moment in a way. She didn't make a single peep. Well, there was a little merp or something, but that was it. It was a merp of anguish. It was like, all in the eyes. She's an anime character in a tuxedo. Her eyes. So, anyways, things are getting a little bit back to normal. I've been working on cleaning things here and there. I got the couches back where they go, and fresh laundry, all the linens that on the beds that they've been crashing on. I washed all the sheets that were piles for their nesting, and everybody's got new spots and they're happy, and so things are good on that front. I'm doing okay in the same. I still occasionally here and there wistfulness. It's a thing that's going to happen. Have not had any significant precipitation to really test the new tin thing, but I have a feeling it's going to work. There was a drizzle that, I could just tell that it was like, this did what the other one did, but even better, so I should be good. Um, Winter plans in mind for snow fencing to try and control some drifting so that it doesn't all just boof down over where I walk. Um, Possibly clearing an area around the outside of the house for access that would include, I don't know, some kind of a snow brick wall with a tote. I've done this before in the past. Depends on how much snow we get. If we don't get any snow, then I won't do that. But I do want to try and control the drifts off the driveway as well. I think I have the means to do this at hand. Um, Gonna spend Thanksgiving with a friend and his family. Christmas, I'm not sure yet. We'll find out if the theater's open. See if the seems like I just kind of got a hunch maybe Dune's gonna be back in that back theater for a while. Just when there's nothing else to show, there'll be Dune because it's a cult thing. So I might go check out Dune on Christmas or something too. Because we don't work on the holidays, and I'm actually kind of bummed about that. They're not big money days, but there are other people in a situation where there is nowhere to go, no one to be with, and nothing else to do, and they will order some food, and then you deliver food to those people. Thankfully, I hope DoorDash is going to be open or something else, but I know that the one that I do isn't going to be. I understand the reasoning. People be with their families on the holiday or whatever. Everybody that makes food has kids and whatnot. But when back in the day when I lived with the manager of this same place, there were kids involved. They understood it's the holiday. People's and we just explained it to them. Man, there are people that got nothing else, and this is their Christmas dinner, so we're going to go wish them a Merry Christmas. And that's the real point of working on this day. And that's what we understood. That was the previous boss's mentality. Something I took to heart and kept. So yeah, I'm a little bummed about that. There's no money to be made on Christmas, honestly. The people that are ordering are not in. You might get a couple of people with a nice saucy tip to kind of make some, but it's not a money day. The day before, it's a little different story. That those days we are open. Day before Thanksgiving is typically fairly busy with the new DoorDashery and whatever. It's just going to be heavy traffic because basically everybody's preparing for Thursday's meal on Wednesday, so they're not cooking for Wednesday, so they're ordering. And now that there's all this other takeout thing, takeout has exploded in delivery. Pirate pizza, man. How did that become a reality? We're living in a Monty Python sketch. Oh. So yeah, that's about what I got on that. Things are all right, stable within nominal on the mood, and navigable. Um, yeah, that's it. Hope everybody has a good Sunday. I'm going to go to bed, wake up, uh, working again tomorrow, and Monday is my Sunday.